Geoff,
What's up, Geoff?
going on? How you doing?
Doing good.
All right, let's get this show on the road.
What's going on, man?
Right, yeah, not much. Same old. Work, beach, kids playing soccer, summer plans, getting ready to go, all that stuff.
Yeah, where are you guys going this year?
Florida.
Oh, really?
Yeah, going stop in New Mexico, then a couple places in Texas, New Orleans.
Hit all the free states?
Oh yeah. All the free states. All the states that love freedom.
God.
Yeah, I texted you. I told you I was listening to Amazon music like I always do, and it keeps playing the Dead Kennedys' California Uber Alice. And I'm like, oh dang. All right, yeah. That's our theme. How about you, man? You're turning 40? Uh-oh.
I am 49, Liam.
How does it feel? You feel old?
I feel the same as I did the day before I turned 40. Yeah.
That's good. You were already old then.
Yeah, you're 40. You're 41.
I'm 41.
Right?
Yeah, 41.
Yeah.
But like in terms of like maturity, I'm still probably like 17.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, we have a superstar waiting in the green room here.
Yeah, for our world, let's not keep Mr. Big Shot waiting too much.
Yeah.
There he is.
Geoff.
How's it going? I know Rob because I used to work with Rob's wife. So Ken and me, we taught together. We were co-teachers. And so I'm pretty sure that working with me is one of the things that caught Kenshin to leave teaching altogether for right now. I think it was like, just had kids and I want to stay home, but I want to teach, but then I have to teach with Geoff. I'm staying home.
Yeah, it was definitely a battle. Like,
Yeah.
Oh man, Geoff wants me to do this iPad thing again. Goddamn.
Yeah. First question, Ski Rob. Are you vaccinated?
I am.
You are vaccinated. All
Yeah.
right. Geoff, are you vaccinated?
For what?
The flu. The
Oh.
flu.
No, I have not gotten my shot.
I read an article, or at least the headline of an article. I didn't read the full article because that would have been too much effort. But the headline said, cash compensation may convince more people to get the vaccine. And I was like, absolutely. $20, maybe like some Del Taco. I'm there, where I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for that, like, okay, we got to get this last group. We're going to have to pay these guys. And then that's going to be me.
Well, did you see New Jersey's governor? Vaccinations for beer.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, no way.
There's participating bars. You take your vaccination card in, you get a free beer.
Yeah.
And I think that actually started early on in Israel.
Yeah, we talked about that the last time. So
That was the last podcast, yeah.
Yeah. They know what to make it happen. They know how to, yeah. And then eventually we'll get it done.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, because I'm relatively young. I guess I just turned 40, so that's not young anymore. I don't know. Mentally, I'm young. But I'm relatively healthy, and I guess I'll save that shot for someone else until
it's required to like go somewhere. Yeah.
Well, that's the problem too. Are they going to make us? Do you have to get it before you can get on a plane, or before you can drive across the border?
Well, see, the thing
I think if you want to go to like Hawaii.
This is what I don't get is, so I'm going to Hawaii this summer, and I asked, and I looked it up. I Googled it. If I have the vaccine, do I need to still get a negative test to get on the plane? And the answer is yes.
Yeah.
So it's like, I was thinking, oh, if I have the vaccine, I don't need to get the test. I can just get on the plane. I'll do it. I'll drive down there this weekend. I'll get vaccinated. I'll get shot in the arm. No problem. But then,
so what's the point of getting vaccinated?
well, I mean, for the greater good, which
But
is probably true.
For science.
Okay.
See, me and Geoff don't.
Science.
You can't say that stuff to me and Geoff, Rob. Me and Geoff stopped believing in science like junior year of high school.
I took ninth grade chemistry. I know all about science.
It's controversy. Bring it
I've been trying to tell Geoff we need the negative comments to start flowing in, and then we'll blow up. But
and I keep telling Geoff that I have a job I could get fired.
Oh, dude, you're right.
Yeah.
Don't say anything too bad. I just want to hear the intro. I just love your intro.
Oh, the Green Day Minority song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That gets me pumped up.
Yeah, that works out well. See, and the thing is, okay, so the story behind that, because you probably don't know, when Geoff and our friends and I were all in high school, like senior year of high school, we had this idea because we were all bodyboarders, and we were like, we're gonna make a t-shirt company that's geared around bodyboarders, because that's a huge population. Like, what kind of a business model is gonna fail there? And so we came up with the word minority, because you go into the water, you're a bodyboarder, you're the minority, and we all kind of had an attitude towards that. And so we slowly became this group called the Minority, crew, that was the local bodyboarders at our school, that, a bunch of riffraff and so forth. So that's where Minority came about. And so when I had to pick a song, I chose that one.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I was a skimboarder, so I was even more minority.
There you go. You're even more hated than bodyboarders.
Yeah.
I'm the one guy.
Wait.
But I'm the guy who sat next to my friend and is like, man, look at those guys out in the ocean. They're so boring. They can't even talk to each other. I'm just sitting here talking to my buddy. We just shoot the shit.
That works.
You guys are out there surfing. Like, I'm just sitting here, not cold. I was very elitist.
Okay.
But definitely minority.
Yeah, you grew up in Southern Orange County. We had to drive 45 minutes to get to the water.
Oh, man, I would never go to the water if that were the case.
Yeah.
It feels like it didn't take that long, in the late 90s.
Well, the funny thing is, like, we'd be driving down to the beach, and, like, it was really funny because our friend Steve, his dad, would travel that direction to go to work at the same time.
Oh, perfect.
So, like, we're like driving to the beach, and we'd like pull up by his car, and Steve would have to do a full-on Ferris Bueller where he like dies down and we like drive by his dad. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was always fun when stuff like that happened. There was another time when we took Najee. Remember Najee? Najee Jabor. We took him, and he had to sneak out of his parents' house early so that he could go down to the beach with us. And he lived in an apartment complex, and his mom lived at the corner of the alleyway. And so he jumps in my truck, and then it's a really tight turn. So we're like pulling up, and I full on crashed into his mom's bedroom.
Oh my gosh.
Shook the entire condominium, and then like didn't like put a hole in it, like nothing crazy like that, but I definitely woke her up, and then I backed up, and then we made the turn to the alleyway and drove away. So
you definitely woke her up. Of course you woke her up.
Yeah.
Like, what are you even saying?
He did this whole mission to get out of there without waking her up, and we're like, good, let's go. And then I'm like, shoot, bam, crashed right in her room. Gosh. And then we drove away. So
remember when you thought you were stealthy when you were younger, and you're like, I'm gonna go TP somebody's house, and you're like 10 or 11, like, I'm gonna go TP their house, and your parents always know you're gone. Like, my dad just pulled up in the car like 3 a.m. like, what the hell are you doing? Get in the car, go home. We thought we were so cool.
Yeah.
Like, they always knew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you start to realize that as you have kids, you're like, oh shit, my parents knew everything I did.
Let's talk about Rob. So Rob, you have to tell us a little bit about you, all right? Because I know that Jeff's gonna have some questions. So
let me get started.
Rob, a lot of
there we go.
There it is. Rob, you're like I guess you're like famous for ants. So you got to tell us your ant story. You got to give us the whole ant background.
Well, this is the first legitimate star we've had on the Two Geoffs podcast. So
yeah, you're the biggest name we've had.
Oh my. Well, the ants are the stars.
That's right.
The ants are the stars.
So tell us about the ants.
Yeah, so the ants are a really funny story. So it all started at work. I work in a software company, software sales, right? Kind of boring, a little monotonous, a little stressful at times, very stressful. See the bags under my eyes. But there's one of our coworkers who just loves ants, like legit loves ants, reads books about them, just loves them. And it kind of changed the dynamic. One of our coworkers got him an ant farm, one of these blue ant farms, and it kind of changed our dynamic. Like when we come downstairs and come talk to him, it was, instead of, oh man, that customer sucks, it was, what are the ants doing? Oh my God, he's carrying his head now. Wow, he can lift that. Like it was just a fun conversation talking about ants. So I kind of lowered the temperature in the company. So then in the new year, we decided to do an ant farm competition. 10 of us bought ant farms and ants at the exact same time. And we just did an office ant farm competition. So it was, and we named them. I put them on my board, and we had every team had a name. I kept track if one died, and I decided to put it on TikTok. And I had been studying TikTok for maybe 2-3 months. I've always been into social media, just wanting to get into it, more watching rather than actually consuming rather than creating. And I just, following GaryVee, who we were talking about a little bit earlier, he's more of just go do it, go try, go experiment. And I just experimented. And I noticed on TikTok, just because it's a really fun platform, there was no ant farms on it anywhere. I'm like, you know what? Let's just post ants and just post my journey of the competition. And I had planned out, like, if they die, I do a ceremony. If they die, like, so sad. The community gets to name the ants, and it just kind of took off. I started giving them CBD, and people just started like going crazy for it. And then it kind of took off. It blew up and got maybe 200,000 or something followers in like a couple weeks. And it's just, rest is history. Just naming the ants, having fun with the ants. It's just been my own little journey of creation, my own little way to just express my creative through the ants. So learning different platforms, learning how TikTok works, learning the algorithms, and that's the ants. It spawned into different things now, but that are the ants. They're rocking. It's super funny.
So when you started TikTok, there was no ant content, no ant farm stuff. Have you now created a whole genre of TikTok?
Yeah, so there were no antfluencers at that time. Right. So yeah, it's kind of a funny story. I mean, there was maybe a couple people that posted like a little bit about it. But then, yeah, I started posting it and it just blew up. So there's actually ant influencers on YouTube and that talk about ants all day, about how to make them healthy and how to feed them correctly, how to take care of them just like a dog or a pet. So there's real influencers out there, and none of them were on TikTok. I ended up talking to Gary Vaynerchuk on something called Tea with GaryVee. He's a famous internet celebrity, and just talking about how to make my ant farms a business. And once I did that, everybody, probably 2 weeks later, all the ant people showed up and started posting, and people started to get ant farms. And there's a lady who's actually a singer, a really good, talented singer, and she got an ant farm. She posted 20 videos and got over 1 million followers and ants, just showing them the same ant farm I have, just going, look at my ants, they're so cute. And she blew up to 1 million followers and kind of took off her singing career because of it. But now I'm very proud to say that I started the ant colony on TikTok, and it's just, people were just going viral just from having ants. I have it all recorded. I was watching everybody blow up with me. They would get an ant farm and they would blow up, meaning they'd get hundreds of thousands of followers just because it was something new and interesting. And that's it. I don't know how to describe it. It's super fun though. It's fun.
You saw a lack in the market. Not that it's not a market, but you saw something that was missing from this social media that you enjoyed, and just started posting your experiences. There was no expectation of, oh, you know what, ants are gonna blow me up, are gonna make me famous.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, no expectation whatsoever. It was just, what I did notice is TikTok was kind of changing, because TikTok, as you may think, is just dancing. But there was a cultural shift where TikTok turned from dancing to now business personalities coming on there and making hundreds of thousands of dollars advertising their programs and saying, look, you can make $100,000 like me. Just click on this link. Boom. And they'd make a lot of money, get a lot of traffic. You could even make a post on TikTok and say, the Two Geoffs podcast, if you listen to this, you will be 10 times better looking. Oh, really? Okay, boom. They're going to go listen to it, right? So it's just
I can barely handle our Instagram. We're not starting TikTok, all right? I don't know. That's going to be on you.
Yeah, Geoff gets overwhelmed by the Instagram.
So Rob's aunt started the whole Rob phenomenon. Is there more? Did it spread? Has it spread? You got other things?
I mean, I'm all over the place. If you could be in my brain, it'd be a wild, like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. It's just insane in here. I'm constantly bouncing all over. So this turned into more helping people on TikTok and running a side hustle of helping people grow on TikTok. I recently won. There's a competition on TikTok to help people make better TikTok, to become a better TikToker. I won the second season. My student won that season. Now there's a third season. So I'm coaching people on how to be better on TikTok. And there's a cash prize, there's a trophy involved. It's a real thing. So we're coaching people on how to be better. So I've spawned into that. And now I'm in the whole NFT space, which is just a mad rush of money flying everywhere. Let's get into that.
Yeah,
let's get into that.
I don't understand it. I don't get it.
Okay, let's do the whole intro to the topic real quick, and then we'll get into that. All right. And my dog here is freaking eating everything. Like this ridiculous husky. Like he wouldn't stop whining, so I let him out, and he's like, "Cool, I'm just gonna eat your garage." No, don't. Hey. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Anyways. Okay.
Yes, this is part of the podcast.
This is my favorite podcast I've ever done.
Yeah, we'll make
it's the only podcast I've ever done, but it's my favorite.
See, that's the thing. Me and Geoff, we'll give all of our guests a good time. Every guest leaves our show having a good time, mostly because we like to drink. All right. So, here we go. So welcome to the Two Geoffs podcast. This is the podcast where Geoff and I, we listen to another podcast that you should probably be listening to instead of ours. And then we discuss it and we take their topics and we continue on the conversation for the brief moment that we actually stay on topic. And so this week we listened to the GaryVee podcast.
There's a real cool club on the other side of town where the real cool kids go to sit around and talk bad about the other kids. Yeah, it's a real cool club and you're not part of it.
And GaryVee is he's a kind of a social media celebrity, and he is a self-made entrepreneur who likes to share his ideas for the purpose of helping others kind of make their best out of their movement and their passions. He's a little bit like a not a life coach or a self-help type of a guy, but in some instance he kind of is as well as that. So that's the GaryVee podcast. Geoff, do you want to give us a rundown on the episode? Which I know you didn't listen to. Hey, dog, stop.
I really don't this week because I did not listen to it.
Intro done. You're good.
I thought GaryVee was the college basketball guy that kept saying baby all the time.
It's right. Hey, I got you covered. Hold on a moment, okay?
Okay.
This is the GaryVee audio experience.
I think the NBA is one of the great IPs in the world. So I'm extremely bullish. However, I do believe that it is extremely vulnerable as an investment right now. That'd be a top shot. And sports leagues IP NFT through the moon.
Oh my gosh, that was amazing.
Every time we do a 50 or a half speed clip, it makes me think like I've had that conversation at one point. It comes in, I'm like, I think I've had that conversation.
Yeah, we've totally talked about that for sure. All right. So the episode was about GaryVee wanting to buy the Jets. And
you didn't even watch it either. You didn't even listen.
I watched it. I watched it at least twice a couple months ago. And he's talking about NFTs. And he is actually talking about, now, so I'm hoping Rob can explain these things, because this sounds really interesting. NBA Top Shot, because this is actually a really cool idea. So basically, tell me if I'm right. NBA Top Shot is where it's like collector's cards, like baseball cards, trading cards, just like we grew up with, except for they're digital. And so I don't know who it is, if it's the NBA itself, but they're grabbing these little GIFs or whatever. And when you buy them electronically through a computer, and you get this digital copy of a moment of sports history that you own. But my question is, can other people own that same exact moment?
So yes, they can.
Okay. All right. Not as special anymore. I now don't, I'm not impressed anymore. Basically, it's just a bunch of people with VHS tapes selling little clips.
Which is good, because if they sell those clips, it pumps your clip up to be worth more. So that's actually what's happening.
So wait a
Top
second.
Shot. Go ahead.
Sorry. Are you saying an NFT is basically a stock in a snapshot of time?
Yeah, almost.
So I thought they were all 100% unique.
There's a serial number that makes them unique. There's one of ones, meaning there's only one of a certain type that has like a different color to it or something. But just think about it this way: like, what's something back in the day? For me, it was PlayStation. Like, what's something for you that you wanted to camp out at Best Buy and go buy? You couldn't wait to get it. Is there anything like that you've had?
Well, I don't think I've ever camped out for anything. I've always been like, dang, I missed it.
Sweet. You're in the same boat for NFTs. You're in the same boat. But
I've definitely missed NFTs, because all I know is that it stands for non-fungible token.
Correct.
And then I'm done.
All right.
That's
not
all
too late.
I like
right. I'm gonna get you into it,
because it's like non-token. I totally get those words. And then they're like, we need one more fungible.
Well, fungible basically means tradable, right? Or see, I'm done.
Define fungible.
I know what non means.
Okay, I'm going to give you the adjective of fungible.
Okay.
Of goods contracted.
Can you define adjective before you go there?
Action. So basically, I have no clue. These words are way too big for me. But basically, it just means that you own it digitally.
Right.
So a fungible token is like something you can hold. So Top Shot is something that started in July or June, right, of last year. And so this is all based off cryptocurrency and the blockchain. The blockchain being something that it's kind of decentralized, meaning that nobody really owns it. Like, you can own it. You can be a part of the company. So that's the huge push right now, is that companies are making video games that you can make money on. I'll talk about the digital land I own, and you can make money with that. And the company doesn't own it. You own it, and you can make money with it. So Top Shot basically is YouTube clips, but they are in a marketplace and you own it. You own this piece of history, and you're one of the only ones that do. It's licensed by the NBA, and the NBA gets a small cut. Every transaction, they get 5%. So they're making money. The players are behind it. The players are tweeting it. It has barely been advertised, and the players are just Top Shot that. That's got to be a Top Shot. And Top Shot,
What is
made by a company.
What's the transaction?
The transaction is, so there's a full marketplace. So you buy these packs. It's almost like, remember the wax packs you open up, you get the baseball cards, same experience, but on Top Shot, you get a pack, it opens up, makes some cool noise, it shows you your little moment. It's called a moment, and you can sell it on a marketplace for real money. So for instance, I bought a pack for $9 the other month, and I ended up selling the contents of that pack for $150 on this marketplace. Maybe 2 months ago, I bought a pack that was maybe $200. It's called a rare pack, and I sold that for over $2,000 on the marketplace. So the demand is so high. It was so high. It's still pretty high. There's like NFTs or this new pump. Everybody wants this because the world is going digital, and 10 years from now, everybody that has a phone, your avatars on Instagram that you're on, people want to show off what they have, and this whole world is changing to that. I bought The Weeknd released his first NFT, and I own his first one ever, and that's kind of cool. It went down in price, but I own the first one ever. But the problem is, the one big thing with NFTs is that it's basically, they need to have functionality around them. In that podcast, GaryVee saying everything's too crazy right now, it's too expensive, and he was right, because Top Shot, I owned a LeBron James moment I bought for $2,000. It went up to $10,000, and I could have sold it of just one little digital file, 2,000 to 10,000. And it was just crazy to watch. And what it really was built on was fear of missing out. People in the digital space, and NBA was like, oh, I don't want to miss this. I'm going to get in now. This is crazy. Like, people literally were just making hundreds of thousands of dollars in a day, $20,000 in a day, just buying something and selling it. And it was madness. And it all kind of dipped down and died for a bit, and still really popular, but it's basically just been a cash cow for a lot of people who got in early. But the reason I got so behind it before it really blew up, and it helped me a lot financially, was that I opened this pack, and I had this, because my dad back in the day, and myself, my dad, and one of his friends, we made our own baseball card business. We used to go to the baseball card thing. Awesome. We went to Frankensons, and it's a warehouse, and you go there, all the cards, you open a pack, and you can go sell it right there. You can keep it, and it was just the whole hustle. It was awesome back in the day. And you open this card, I remember getting like an OPG, cost me 99 cents. I opened this thing, and I got a card that was worth like $3. And I flipped it. I'm like, Dad, I just made $2. He's like, oh my God, good job, son. Like, I got that same feeling from Top Shot. It brought everything back for me, my entire childhood, because I could open this pack, and it's so exciting because you could land a LeBron, and your pack you bought for $9, you could sell for $70, and it's instant. You don't have to go to, like, okay, I opened my pack, my physical, I don't have to go to eBay now, and I got to get it graded, and I got to take some months to get back, and then I can sell it, then I got to go ship it, and gosh, hope to God it doesn't get lost and I lose my money. This one's just instant. I can sell it, and I can open it and sell it within a minute and make money. So it's crazy. And it brings back that euphoria of opening it.
No. All right. So I went back to our old text message, and I found this question. So does this focus of monetization and investment dirty the pureness of the sport and fandom? Because as you talk about this whole like movement, we're speaking about money and making money, and we're stepping away from the pureness of the sport. When I think about baseball cards, I think about 1987. I'm 7 years old, chasing down the sport and learning about the players and the game. But here we are talking about flipping money. So is the monetization of fandom a negative effect for the culture?
I would compare it, and I compare it all the time, to fantasy football. I'm a football fan, but as soon as I got into fantasy football, and I'm a degenerate gambler, like if you want to just guess which color car comes around the current turn, I'm in. $5. Let's go. Red or blue.
That's
Done.
good information.
Yeah. So, but like, I got into Top Shot because it was something new, and I'm big into tech, and I just because it was awesome in a couple weeks, and all of a sudden I'm watching every basketball game. I'm watching the ratings, the rankings, the everything, and I'm in it. I'm a basketball fan, like big time, way more. And and it actually brought along a lot of cool bonds. A lot of my good friends are huge basketball fans, and I can now talk to them about and I'm not into basketball in a way that I love it and I want to watch it every day, but I'm now a fan and I want to go to a game and I want to yell Top Shot that, and I want to compare my moments with people because it's a cool platform. But then 5 years from now, if there's a like UFC comes out, I'm in. If golf comes out, I'm in even more because that's my sport. So once that's what GaryVee's talking about. Once it kind of dilutes, and then you have your sport to get in on, then like Top Shot won't be as big because Top Shot's just gonna be the basketball one, right? Then there's a surfing one. You're into the surfing one because like everybody has their favorite player, right? So if you, that's where I think it dilutes it a little bit for in the short term. But I think overall it brings broad appeal. And like think about Top Shot when you actually go to a game, and this is happening. Or actually, here's the even crazier thing: in Japan, I believe it is. There's a new video game that came out. They put a QR code via drones that you could scan with your phone, and you get an NFT that says you were there at that moment.
I like that.
And you can sell it to other people.
I've seen some cool sports history moments. I was at the game when Kevin Mitchell charged Bruce Hurst and benches cleared and brawled. I was at the game when Kendrys Morales hit the game-winning, I think it was a home run, and then hurt his leg landing on home plate and knocked him out for the season. And I remember seeing Billy Hatcher almost rob a home run off of one of the Dodgers. I think it was Pedro Guerrero at Dodger Stadium.
Oh, Pedro.
If I would be 100% full on board, I would definitely spend an extra $20, $50 per game if I could capture the top moment of what I saw at that, because I feel like I earned it. I feel like this is kind of like going back to our concert days where me and Geoff would go to concerts and we'd be like, I was at the show when this happened. And it's funny, I was talking to a lady dropping her daughter off at preschool today, and we were talking about, because she was wearing a thrice mask, and we immediately went into, hey, were you at the show when this happened? Wow. And so you could take this into concerts where it's like, if I could capture that moment, I'd feel like I earned it. You know what I mean?
You just summarized it perfectly. That's
awesome.
Exactly what's happening with NFTs.
But I think there needs to be a premium on being there. Like, there needs to be, for the younger generation, there needs to be a premium on saying, hey, look, you could spend $50, you can spend $100 to get a picture of this moment, or you could be so in touch with what's going on and realize what you're into and be at that moment. Say that, hey, it's important that I'm at this thrice show. It's important that I get tickets to go to this baseball game or this, basketball game. Like you're saying, we're at a show and we're like, oh, I was there. You can't sell that.
Yeah, but that's the thing is, like, if you could capture that you were there, like a special limited edition I was there series. And actually MLB.
But how do you do that? Do you do that with like a selfie of you, in the crowd? Or?
No, this is how you do it. MLB already has this set up, and as we've been talking, I'm already thinking about it. When you go to a Major League Baseball game and you have the MLB app, it checks you in. You can check in at Angel Stadium. And so a week later, I get a notification on my phone that says, hey, we saw you were at this game. Would you like to pay $50 to own this moment in sports? And it's like, it's a flat rate. Like, it's always $50. It's not like $100 or $200 or $500. It's a flat rate, $50 every time throughout that year. And so I say, yes, I want it. $50, I'll buy it.
And you're right on, Geoff, with like the little badge and I was there. Like, that's coming for sure. Every sport is going to have it because it's not about just owning this digital thing. It's like a YouTube clip. It's about the access. It's about what it gets you. Because let's say you were the first person to go to a Metallica concert, and you show, like, let's say you went to Metallica's first concert and there was 5 people there. There's an NFT that says, I am one of 5 people here. Sick. Now Metallica blows up and there's 500 million people at their concert, and you've got the one of 5. You were the first fan. You have proof of it, that you were the first fan there. Do you think that'd be worth something that's a bajillionaire now and they want to own that? Yes, it will.
I don't know. I'm a little drunk. I don't know. But I feel like these NFTs
Love this podcast.
are a scam for the younger generation, trying to sell them value in something that has no value.
Not value to you, because not value to you yet. And you're going to get into NFTs because I'm going to convince you.
All you're doing is selling them a snapshot. You can't sell them. You cannot sell them in the experience. You cannot sell them any more than, hey, here's a snapshot. Here's a picture of what it kind of looked like. But we're selling a lie to anybody buying that picture.
It's not a lie if they value that person in that moment. So let's talk about this planet I own, right?
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah. So you just said, let's make things more understandable.
Let's make things easier. Let's talk about a planet.
It's going to make it easier. I swear to God, it's going to make it easier. But this. So I invested in a game called Alien Worlds. Okay, hear me out. It's basically a game. All you do, there's one freaking button. You click mine, and you get currency in the game. No different than Zelda. Like, let's picture Zelda right now. Everybody's played it. You get a little rupee, and you go get your hearts, and you get your cool little sword, and it looks awesome. And it's in that game only, right? Cartridge breaks, gone forever. Your save, everything. See ya, right? You're playing this game on Nintendo's platform. You're paying Nintendo only for this, and you get nothing back other than the experience. So what's happening now is this play to earn wave that has barely started. Nobody knows about it. Is they're making games where we're a part of it, of the company or the land or the asset through the NFT and blockchain space. So I purchased the land, and I'll give you the real numbers here. I purchased a land for $800 and a digital piece of land. Yes.
Okay.
So there's like 5 planets, and there's only a limited amount of land, just like in the world. Like if you own Laguna Beach, it's probably better than Pasadena, depending on where you're at, or Kentucky. I don't know where you live.
Hey,
but
careful.
Laguna Beach is probably.
Don't offend some of our listeners, right?
Branson, Missouri.
I'm sure we got one in Pasadena.
I didn't offend the 2 from South Korea.
Right.
Okay. So
North Korea, they can't.
There's a limited amount of land in this game, and in this game there's a limited amount of currency, and there's going to be no more currency. You earn currency through like mining on this land. So I own this piece of land, and the only way to play the game right now is to use somebody else's land. But I own that land. So every time somebody mines, I get paid. And we'll just say Bitcoin in the currency of that game. But the currency of that game, I can transmute to make it US dollars. So people are understanding this now, and they're like, wow, this is real. Because people are playing, millions of people are playing games for no profit, just for fun. But now games are turning in a different way. You can have just as much fun, but you can now trade your assets in real money. Not like Fortnite. Fortnite did like $9 billion or something in selling skins. The only way to sell them is to go to eBay. The only way to sell them is like. $8
billion was from my kid.
Yes, he needs to get into play to earn, or he's going to mine on my land. So, but like, think about it. Now, you can sell those things, even though under their terms it says you can't sell them. You could go to eBay, and oh man, he's the only person I'm explaining it to is him, and he's gone.
Oh, I'm listening.
Okay, so think about it. On
It's
Fortnite,
like Rob being our senior history teacher, and we're just not being. We're like all
so I need
Trust
to get
me,
another beer. Dang it.
For virtual planets, I needed another beer.
Yes, you do. So think about opening the wax pack. And think of Fortnite. Fortnite, you want to sell that skin, you got to go to eBay, you got to like talk to a person. Now you can just do it on an open marketplace that's worth money. So that land I purchased for $800 is now worth $16,000. The digital piece of land. Because there's so many people that jumped into this. It's the first game of its kind. And you literally own the land. The company actually pays me for being a landowner. They pay me in currency and I can trade it for dollars. So that land that I own in game is making me over $1,500 a month. Because
Okay.
people
Is
are
there any more
paying
$800
play.
pieces of land? Because I need
I
to
have the
write
cheapest. I
down,
have
I
the
need to write
cheapest.
down some shit. Now I've got FOMO, bro. Like,
So, but
you're
think
talking
about
about
it. You could start
snapshots
playing.
of LeBron James. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. But now you're talking about you're making $1,500 a month off a fake planet.
Yeah. Dude, there's a racehorsing game called Zed Run. You own racehorses,
I love horse.
and people
horse
get in on the sale on Friday. You can own a horse, race it, and make real money. And people can bet on your horse.
virtually.
You own the horse virtually right now.
As an update, Geoff and I talked about economics in our last podcast. And just for an update, Geoff and I still don't know anything about economics.
Neither do I.
This is not
I
an
know a lot about
option to
aliens.
buy
though.
or sell virtual land.
But I will
know a lot
say
about aliens.
also, since Geoff and I last talked, I made 28% in my investments
Yep.
just in 3 months, which I
Week.
usually make in a year.
Week.
So,
You gotta pump those numbers up.
yeah.
I made 200% in Dogecoin in the
Yeah.
last 4 days.
True story. I wake up one
Dogecoin.
morning, Geoff texts me, and my Dogecoin has jumped up like 200%. And I talked to Rachel. This was like a month ago, and I'm like, "Hey, like I made like a couple $100 just sleeping last night." And then she's like, "Well, what are you gonna do with it?" And I was like, "I don't know, man. I never know when to sell these things." And like, I put the phone down. She leaves to go to work. 3 minutes later, I check. Like, Rachel's probably getting in the car. I look up, it's all gone. Like,
Yep.
it all just like dove,
Yep.
and it went back to where it was before. And like, I lost hundreds of dollars just like that. And like, by the time my wife walked from saying goodbye to me to the car, and it was all gone. But fortunately, I didn't panic sell. And like
Good
Geoff,
man.
you and I, man, we made money the past.
I did
Going up again.
see. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
what's
like.
happening.
I don't
all
like
over.
stocks. I don't like NFTs. I'm sorry, because I don't understand them, and I miss out, and then I feel sad.
But people are making passive income on this stuff, and it's literally changing people's lives. And you may not agree to it or understand it, but the people that are getting into it are making so much money. It's changing their lives, and it's changed my life drastically over the span of 3 months. Over the span of a month, Top Shot changed my life drastically with the amount of money that's changed hands. I hadn't even thought about money and investing. I just kind of took a little gamble with $200 and it turned into like more than I can ever imagine in my life. And now like decisions are being made for paychecks, and like I can't even fathom it. It's too much for me, but it's real. And people are now finding out about it.
All right, so let's move on to the news. Okay, Rob, you're our guest. You get to pick. You have two choices. You have a farmer moves a marker, and suddenly French and Belgium have different borders, causing an international incident. Or you have millionaire baseball pitcher Daniel Morris.
I'm guessing the French just gave up, though, right?
Millionaire pitcher Daniel Morris lives in a van. What do you want, baseball or international incident?
I mean, I know so little about international incident that I just want to go baseball. I just want to know. I'm hoping the guy living in a van invests in crypto.
All right,
That's
this
what
guy,
I'm hoping.
this guy is one of my favorite baseball players right now. It is an older story. Daniel Morris is a pitcher. He's not bad, although he's had some injury issues. And he lives in his van, despite the fact that he makes millions of dollars. He cooks his own meals. He has a kitchen in his van.
It's a nice ass van.
Remember when he was pitching for the Tigers, they told him, hey, like, we need to get you a house because we're paying you all this money. We can't have you living in a bus. It was a Volkswagen Westfalia microbus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Westphalia. Those are nice.
Yeah.
I'm getting into VWs right now, so I'm like, yeah, I would live in Westphalia for sure.
All right. So let me ask you: could you live in a van?
I could do.
Only if it was down by the river.
Down by the river.
I don't know if I could anymore. Could I when I was younger? Yeah, for sure.
If I didn't have a family, I would be living in a van right now. I would get
I need my computer.
Right.
I'd get a 24-hour fitness gym membership only for the shower. I wouldn't go out at all. I would show up. I'd walk into that locker room, which has like, whenever you go into a 24-hour fitness locker room, there's always some old naked dude walking around. Like he's
100%
naked unnecessarily. Like he's got a towel thrown over his shoulder, but he's still walking around. Like, and I think he's probably been there for hours. And I don't know I think they paid that guy to just sit there and be like, hey, we need a new employee. And the uniform is nothing. The uniform is a towel, but you have to wear it over your shoulder. And we need you to just hang out in the locker room because it's going to discourage loitering. Because we know that if we know if there's an old guy hanging out in the locker room, people will go and they'll want to leave as soon as they possibly can. And I'm pretty sure because any 24-hour fitness I've walked into, that's what I've seen. I've been like, okay, I'm getting out of here. Like there's something awkward about this.
I don't even know. Even if I was a millionaire, I don't know if I'd waste the money on the gym membership. I just live near the beach and just surf every day. And if you're in the ocean every day, you don't need to take a shower.
Yeah.
You're gonna get cleaned up with that salt water. Girls
spend lots of money for the salt scrub.
Exactly.
You already got it. You might have leptospirosis, but you also.
I like this guy. I like his. I like the way he floats. He just does what he wants. He makes millions because he probably throws a 96-mile-an-hour fastball, good enough to stay on any team in the league. And I'll just cruise around like it.
So what does he do with his money? Does he believe in banks, or does he have it like under his trunk?
It's like
it's under the back seat of the van.
Yeah. Like he must not believe in banks. Like how does
we got to go find this guy? Just follow him around a little bit. It might be spilling out the back, on the freeway.
That's true.
All right, guys, I gotta go. It's 10 o'clock. I'm gonna turn it.
Yeah, man, that was fun.
Rob,
hey, this was a really good one.
Honestly, the Rob
usually use this one again.
It usually works a lot better than this.
Normally you start with the intro.
Yeah.
He's listened. He knows this is how they go.
Yeah. No,
but
I think this is a little sloppy.
No, I know how Geoff does it. I know Geoff does like right around here, and I know that. So I was good.
We're gonna do some editing magic. It was a little sloppy tonight, but we're gonna make it work.
Well, hey, what you could do an update. Let's do an update in a month. Where are we at now? Except it's not gonna be an update. It's just gonna be the next podcast.
Slow down. A month seems pretty close.
Well,
it took us 2 months to get to this point. All right.
All right, guys.
Okay, fine. An update in 4 years. By that time, you'll have 3 more podcasts on your belt. You'll be golden.
Yeah, we're gonna work this out.
Yeah.
I've got that clip of Geoff all frozen up. Like.
Me too. I'll send it.
I'm starting a TikTok now because.
Let's go.
I don't think there's ridiculous podcast TikTok scene. Maybe there is, and I don't know. But
go check out the ants, man. It's a trip. All right, guys. Thanks. That was fun.
All right.
Appreciate
it. Thank you, guys.
All right, bye.
All right. Good night.
Later.
California, over us. California, over us. California, over us.
This just sounds like a whole bunch of socialist bullshit.